So Shiri, with the key value pairs, the NoSQL crowd you're joining. Trader, but that's okay. So I'm here for MySQL for high scale. So by high scale, I mean websites who are doing a lot of traffic or who hope to do a lot of traffic and are architecting for the future. I talk a lot, but I try not to pontificate. I try to give a lot of data for what I say. Right now, I'm pontificating, so sorry about this. Change is coming, and I say this from my perspective of where I work now and where I may have worked in the past. MySQL has been the default high-scale solution, and it won't be the default solution in the future, which is arriving soon. A few years after that, once more things get deployed, it won't have the majority of high-scale deployments. So at that point in time, we will have less market share. Is this important? Does it matter? I don't know if MySQL ever made much in money from high-scale customers, but I think the product and side effects have been very valuable. For example, conferences like this, which have a lot of participation from high-scale customers. So I think it is important for MySQL to remain relevant for some of us who want to continue working on MySQL. So why do we need to change? Some people are changing for very good reasons. The solutions that they're switching to do less, but they do it better. Provide automated failover, just less cost to operate. Other reasons, SQL is hard to use and it's hard to optimize for high-scale customers. And eventually some of the migrations from MySQL to NoSQL will learn that whatever they're migrating to is also difficult to use. So one of the responses we've had in the past few years is forks. And by forks, I mean things that are very similar to MySQL and things like Drizzle that are fairly different from MySQL. I'm not trying to provide an answer here, but the questions I have about these forks are we innovating from them, and are we losing efficiency by doing this? Fragmentation, I don't think official MySQL and derivatives, excluding Drizzle, are growing the community. I don't think people will volunteer to work on these projects in the future. They will have to be hired. If I were a developer starting out, I would choose to work on a NoSQL solution at this point in time because I would have a bigger impact. I could do a small feature in MySQL, or I could help get Cassandra and HBase much more likely to be usable in production. As someone who observes the mailing list, there's not much activity on it, the official mailing list. MariaDB has a lot of activity. It's mostly commits. Drizzle, again, I'm excluding. Drizzle is very active. And the thing we do discuss on the mailing list right now is mostly coding standards. If I were thinking of hacking on something, MySQL is open source, but development is not. Once a year, we get surprises about the features. This year, the surprise was great. The features that have been described in 5.5 are excellent. But if you're trying to be a developer working on this, it's a big step function. Once a year, you'll learn what's new, and then what the new bugs are and what to work on. And then a year later, the work that you did to fix them may or may not have been relevant. Who wants to hack on MySQL? InnoDB is fun to work on. And I lost my slide. So what do? We share the data center. This stuff, Cassandra, HBase, is coming in. We have to work with them, interoperate with them, replicate to them, share data with them. Okay, so another thing to do is provide alternate interfaces to MySQLD. I do a lot of queries that are the same again and again and again. I don't want to pay the price of optimization. And I think I know I can get faster into the server without using the client-server API. So I need an alternate way in. MySQL proxy is another way to innovate and share access. But we need MySQL proxy that's generally available with high performance. And if you go to the website now, it's an alpha release, and there have not been many releases, at least official releases. The big thing we can do is what 5.5 is doing. We can make MySQL amazing for OLTP. It's far, far ahead for what you can get for performance on a single node compared to the competition. And I think we should stress that. For commodity, 16 core servers are here now. If you're buying a Nehalem server, you're getting 16 cores. We'll have more cores next year. We can get PCI-based flash devices that do 100,000 IOPS. We need software that can do 100,000 IOPS, or we are wasting money on that hardware. And the other thing is, let's provide an alternative to InnoDB. Let's make them compete. PBXT, ExtraDB. What if Maria turns back into an active storage engine? It's another option for users. And making InnoDB and MySQL remain competitive is good for users. The other things, there's more features I want for high scale to make my life with respect to managing a web service or a data service easier. Stored procedures, online operations. I can't take a database down to do a schema change or to do resharding. That's it. But a lot of work to do.